Welcome to our lessons on Google Sites, where we're going to be showing you how easy it is to build out a website from scratch in minutes using Google Sites. My name is Lawrence and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to present this course to you today. So Google Sites gives us ability to build amazing looking websites really quickly. It's drag and drop. So you don't need to have any coding skills in order to develop websites. You simply take the components that you need and add really easily. You also have options to add in images. So you can go to your Google Drive, add in an image that you've got within your Google Drive, and really easily drag and drop that into your environment. You can also have multiple images if you want, one next to the other, and you can also embed URLs and embed HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code into your project. You can also upload content, add in dividers. So we've got a divider there, add that in to separate out content, bring in YouTube content so you can search for YouTube videos. So we could do a search on Google and bring in YouTube videos. There's also videos we can upload. We can easily bring into our projects. We can bring in a calendar. We can bring in a map. We can also bring in Google Docs. So this is just coming from our Google Drive. We can insert those into our project. Also slides. So slides is a really nice function to be able to add into your web page, because this gives anybody the ability that if you've got a slide presentation, you can really easily add it into your project. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as new website and publish, and I'll show you what this looks like. So we need to also have an address for it, new website 1000, and I'm going to go ahead and publish this. And you can see just in minutes, right now we've got a published website, a URL that you can share across to anybody and they can access it, or you can also customize who has access to the website and who sees the website. You can always edit, and this is the slides, so it brings it in really nice and neatly. And then if you want to edit the website, you just simply go to edit, or you go to your dashboard where you've got your Google Sites and you select the one that you want to edit. You can create multiple sites as well. There's a lot of really amazing features, and we're going to be going through them in the upcoming lessons. So when you're ready, let's jump in and start creating some Google Sites. So that's coming up. Welcome to our lessons on Google Sites, where we're going to show you how you can really easily make a website. And one of the great things about Google Sites is it's so easy to use. You can create public-facing websites, also create web content, websites for internal projects, groups, events, showcase content, and basically just get online. Google Sites also allows you to bring all of your Google Suite content together online, and we're going to be showing you some of the really cool things that you can do bringing in your Google Suite content. You can share it with selected friends or share it with the world. It's all up to you. And that's the nice thing about Google Sites, is that you've got complete control. And the reason to use Google Sites is that it's mobile ready, it's easy to share and get started with. There's no coding, so no web coding. You can drag and drop, design your website from the custom interface, and you can also customize it and update it at any time, add additional pages, and add additional functionality really easily. So what I want you to do now is log into your Google account, go to sites.google.com, and I'll walk you through how to set up your Google site. So all of that is coming up next. Once you go to sites.google.com and you're logged in, make sure that you are logged into your Google account. So you don't need any special permissions or anything special, just a regular Google account. I've got my Gmail open over here, and I've logged into my testing area where I've got sites. And you see that you've presented with a number of options, so you can create sites and you can create multiple sites. So it's not just limited to just one sites, and there's also a new version of Google Sites. So we're going to be working with that one actually, and this will still list out all of the sites that we have available for Google Sites. So again, you can plan, share, collaborate, and stay connected. So when you go to the new version of Google Sites, you're going to see it looks quite a bit different and a lot more modern. So this is what we're going to be using within the upcoming lessons. They've got some information here about what's new with Google Sites and also collaboration and that the sites are mobile ready. So that's a big thing nowadays because you do want to make sure that whatever content you're developing online, that it is mobile ready. So once you've selected it, and you can always go back to the classic sites. So go ahead and click through and set it up and get to the same page that I'm at and create a brand new project, and we'll walk you through it coming up in the next lesson. So once you've opened up the new interface for Google Sites, go ahead and click the red X here at the bottom right hand corner, and this will open up the interface to create a brand new site. So you see right away we're presented with our website. We can go through the tour or we could skip, and we've got all of our options here on the right hand side. We can organize our content, we can move things around, we can work with others. And that's really the nice thing about sites is this collaboration. So you can build a website with somebody else, and sharing that content just within the cloud really makes it easy to update and work together. And then, of course, you can publish your site once you've completed building it. So the first thing that we should always do is set up a website name. So this is the name that your website is going to get referenced by. So I'm going to save it as Sites Course. And we see that it pops up there as well. And then we can enter in a title. So I'm going to call it Google Sites Course. And once we've set up the basics, you're always able to publish it, and then you're able to go back and update it if you need to. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a quick publishing of it so that you can get a better feel for what to expect coming up. And you can also preview it at any time. So this is the preview of what your website looks like. You can preview it on a tablet, on a phone, and of course on a desktop or a large screen. And once you're finished with the preview, you can just close that off and go back to the editor. And once you've finished all of your editing, go ahead and click Publish. And this is where we get an option to create an address. So this is the address that your website is going to be on the online. So we're going to keep it as Sites Course, and this is the website that we can go to. We also have options here who can view the website, who has access, so number of people if we want to add in people for access, and anyone can find it and view it. You can change that so specific people can view when it's published, or you can just share it across the web. And if you select specific people, then you need to specify which people are able to view it. And then also this is where you can work collaboratively, where you can specify who can work with it. And we've got it public on the web, anyone with the link, and only specific people. And generally what you want to do for your draft content, you want to keep it only for your collaborators or for yourself. You don't generally want to save and share your draft publicly, only when you're working on it, and then when you finish working on it, you can publish it out to everybody. And then, of course, you can invite additional people here, just like any other Google Docs. You can specify people's names and invite them into the project or invite them into the website. So let's shut that over and go ahead and publish it. And there's one other option here as well, where you can not show the website within search engines. Otherwise, the website is going to be accessible via search, and depending on what the purpose of your website is, you may or may not want to select the search settings. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and it's just that easy. Once it's published, you can go to the URL and you can see your published website. So go ahead now and publish your website. Pick a URL for your website that you're going to be working on. And next lesson, we're going to go back into the editor and we're going to customize the website. So that's all coming up. All right, let's customize the website. So you see, whenever you hover over any one of the areas on your website within the editor, you've got some options here. So you can change your image. And if you want to change the image, you can either upload an image or select an image. There's a gallery of images that you can use. So you can select from any of these. You can go by URL. You can search your albums, your Google Drive. So you've got a connection to all of your resources all in one spot. So simply go ahead and select one of the images that just makes sense and go select, and right away your background gets updated and changed. The other thing that you can do as well is you can change your header type. So you can have a large banner, you can have a title only, or you could have the default of a banner. So there's options of how the header is going to look. And then also there's options within each theme. And you can switch through all the different themes. They've got a bunch of really nice default ones. And then you can customize the colors of those themes. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to take Aristotle. I'm not stuck with the colors or the fonts that are there. I can go to Classic. I can go to Bold. I can update and customize the colors as needed. So I can go red. And it's all really easy, nice and easily laid out to you. And you can update all of these colors and the color schemes as needed. So once you're happy with your website layout, you can go back to Insert, and this is where you can actually build out your web page and the page content. And it's all drag and drop optional, that you can simply drag and drop content in really easily into your web page. So let's say, for instance, you want a text box. Right away there's a text box that shows up. You've got an option for different types of text, and it's a really simple WYSIWYG editor there that you can add in. You've got more options here where you can do clear formatting and code font. So you've got some options for your font as well. You've got the ability to do different emphasis. You can also do an image here, so you can select an image once again, select an image, and that image gets populated to the background. So you have all of the options as we did within the header there, and we can really easily grab and select what we want to use for the images. We can also pick different default colors, which are really nice to have as well. And we can delete it when we don't want to use it anymore. So let's go ahead and add in some text, and we'll do something like "Welcome to my website." And of course, you probably want to customize this and have a really nice message, meaningful message for your website. And again, we do have options for what we can do with the headings. So we can change the different text styles at any time. So we can bring it back to a title, we can bring it to a heading or a subheading. And there's also options where you can undo your last action, you can redo your last action, you can also preview at any time to always get a good look and feel of what your website is actually. And the colors of the text, so if you're wondering why it's stuck on red, then you need to update it within the color scheme, because the way that the websites work and the themes work, they run off of the color schemes. So there's certain fonts and colors that are always going to be matching within the color scheme. So if you don't like a certain color, you might be stuck with having it in multiple places within that one color scheme. So you've got the 6 options for the different color scheme values, and you can update those within the themes. And let's also add in another text box. Built. So just type some text in there. And you can have a whole bunch of text if you want. So I'm going to copy and paste out a bunch of text. You can bold text. You can italicize. You can also do lists. So for instance, if you want to create a quick list, you can do that as well. So it's a ordered list or an unordered list. You have options. You can also add in hyperlinks. So let's say, for instance, you want to link out to Google. You could add in a hyperlink by inserting the link, and then you have to type in the address. Make sure that you get the full URL in order for it to link out. And you can always edit it. You always, whenever you select it, you can edit and you can delete it as well. So go ahead and add in some content on your page. And next, we're going to be showing you more about the site navigation and options for site navigation. So that's coming up. In this lesson, we're going to be adding more pages into our website. So far we just have the one page. We also have an option to add in a logo, so you can upload or you can select a logo. If you already have logos updated, you can really easily add those in as well. So we're not going to be adding a logo, but that is an option within the website. You also have sites home, so you can go over to the website and your main sites home at any time. And you can have multiple Google sites, so you can create as many as you want here, and you're going to see them all listed here. You can also sort them, and you can open different types of views, so the list views. So let's go back into that, so that you can see how easy it is to navigate back and forth. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is within the pages. So far, we just have this one home page, and this is the page that we've been working on. If we want to add in more pages, so let's say you wanted an About Me page, and there's also an advanced here, so you can have a custom path, so it doesn't always have to be about. But for now, let's just go ahead and we'll create the About page. And then the same thing as we did earlier, where we can add in some text. We can customize content about me and this. You can embed a URL. So if you've got a website that you want to embed in there, you can just simply paste that in. You can also paste HTML code from your website if you want to embed that. So I'll just type some HTML code. And you don't need to use HTML, but it's good. It's nice that there is that option to use the HTML code if you want. So you give you a real nice way to update and add HTML. So if you are into HTML and if you know how to do HTML code, then this is a great option in order to customize and add in some HTML content. And you can see you can resize it and have it fit nice and neatly within your page output. And then also we can upload images and upload content if we want. So we can select upload, and that will allow us to upload from our computer. So let's go back into pages. And you see also now that we've added in another page, so this is our About Me page, we've also got a navigation bar. So let's publish this website and also go out and preview it. And you can see that now I can navigate between the pages really easily, automatically add it in. And also on mobile, we get the mobile hamburger menu, so it's like a nice mobile friendly menu. So that's all built in to the website. And that's really the nice thing about it, is because they really have thought of everything. You can also copy your pages. You can make the About as a homepage if you want. So you see that this homepage icon, that indicates whatever the homepage is. You can also add properties. So you've got the ability to update that About. So if you wanted it uppercase like that, and also if you wanted to have a custom path, then you can set that as A or something like that. And then when you go to preview, you can see that whenever you go to the About or the home, it's going to now be using those custom values. And let's bring home back to our home page. And also if you want hidden pages, so let me insert a new page and we'll call it secret. And then call that and add in some text in there. This is a secret. So let's go ahead and publish that. And we're going to look at the view publish site. So we've got the secret in the navigation bar, and we see that where we set this customized A for About, you see that it's just got that little A there. And the other pages, it's whatever word we used. So this one was secret. So now if I go back to pages, and if I hide from navigation, and if I refresh, or I could have used that one as well, that was the older one. So when we refresh, only the home and About is there, but you saw whenever we're on the secret, so obviously we know that that page is there, but it's still, we can still go to that URL, but it's not going to be showing up in the navigation menu. So that's something to keep in mind, and this is another really nice way that you can add in content, and you can have your website, and then you can share the link to certain people if you want, and also you've got a whole bunch of control as to how you set up the paths and whether you can delete it or you can show it in the navigation. You can also add subpages to that as well and have different properties for it. So we could always customize that path, so it doesn't have to be secret. You can change that path, and then if it's not a navigation menu, then only people that actually know the path, so you could do something like secret and then have a bunch of numbers there. And that's going to make it highly unlikely that somebody is going to go to your site and be able to guess that these numbers are there. And also you could change it so show it to somebody and also change it so you can customize it as well. And it's really easy to do that within sites. So go ahead and set up some more pages, as many pages as you want, and build it into navigation bar. And there's also one other thing within the navigation bar as well. So we've got options of where the navigation bar sits. So we can sit it at the side or we could sit it at the top. So if we go to sit it at the side and we refresh, I think we got to refresh there again. There we go. We see that we've got our navigation now is on the side. So you've got the option to have two different styles of where your navigation bar sits. So it's up to you where you want to position it. Those are the options you have, and all you have to do is click this gear icon and you can update where your navigation of your pages is. And then the control of the pages is within that pages tab here on the right hand side. Welcome back, and earlier we saw how many really cool things that we can do and how easily we can build out a website. So let's create another page, call it tester. So this is our tester page, and you can also customize the headers as needed so they don't always have to look the same on each web page. Although the themes, if you change them over here, and if you go back to your other pages, you're going to find that the themes are changing as well. So whenever you change the theme is across the entire website. So just be careful with that one, because if you're making changes on one page, you might not realize that you're making changes across the entire site. So let's look at customizing our web pages. So go back and we'll go back over to tester, and we're going to go through all the different options that we have for inserting. So we already saw that we can insert text. So within images, now I've got some images within my Google Drive, so I can really grab those, select those, and bring them into our web project. We can resize them as needed. There's also some options over here, so we can crop the image. So you can specify how much you want to crop it. So there are some options, some basic editing that you can do if you want for your images. So you can crop it. You can also uncrop it. You can link it, and then of course you can delete it. You can also add alt text. So that's an important one for accessibility. Make sure you add that alt text. Also adding in captions, snap image. And then with the captions, this is going back to what we saw earlier with the text. So it's the same thing. They give you that same little mini editor here for different text and captions. So if you wanted to add in more images, you can add in additional images. You can also do different dividers to divide up your content. And you can also do from drive. So you can see contents of your drive, and you can really directly bring that stuff directly within your files. So you don't have to go through by selecting. You can also bring it in from your drive as well. And there's also Google Docs. So let's go back into the embed. So we can embed a URL if we want as well. So I've got a URL here for app script. So let's embed that one. And make sure that it's a valid URL. So you've got some options. You can preview it, and you can see what this link looks like. So of course this is a small version of it. And then of course you can make it bigger. And you've got some options here, so you can show an image, you can show a title, so you don't have to show those, or you could show a description, so you don't have to show description. So there's a number of ways that you can present that content. And then whenever you're unsure about what it's going to look like, I just published it, but you could also just go to preview, so you could get a quick overview of what your website is going to look like, and then of course on the different size screens. And then whenever you're done with the preview, you can simply conclude that. Now there's also a number of other options as well. So let's do another tester page. So we'll call it test 2. And let me show you that there's a lot of power with embed, because embed lets you embed URL, but it also lets you embed code. So there's a number of ways to get various code snippets online.